my entire application from the day I submitted my application to the day I received my passport request letter boils down to 5 weeks. So my study permit application took 5 weeks from submission to approval. 5 weeks. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I do hope you do not make this your last and that you consider subscribing to the channel. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos. In today's video, I'll be telling you guys everything that had to do with my visa application, from the documents that I used in applying, the processing time, and to my passport submission and collection. In my previous videos, I could see that you guys had so many questions to ask me concerning my visa application, so that's why I'm choosing to make this video today. In this video, I'll be answering most of the questions, if not all. Without further ado, let's get right into today's video. This video is going to be in 3 parts. In the first part, we will talk about my entire visa application process, the documents that I used in applying, who I applied with, and everything in between. The second part, we will talk about the processing time, how long it took me to move from one stage to another, and how long it took for me to get my decision. And the final part is we're going to talk about my passport request letter, how I submitted my passport, and how I collected my passport. I received my offer letter from the University of Regina on the 3rd of November 2022. I applied to the University of Regina by myself. When it got to the time for visa application, I wanted to do it by myself as well. But when I started the process, I just became overwhelmed by it all for some reason. And my family and I decided that we should work with an agent. So I went online and I searched for credible people. I saw a lot and I chose to stick with one, and their name is Across the Horizon. I will be leaving a link to their Instagram bio in the description box so you guys can go and check them out. At least I'm giving you guys a review here, and they are pretty affordable too. This isn't a paid promotion or ad or whatever. This is me just trying to reach out to my subscribers and help them navigate one or two things in this immigration journey. So I reached out to them and then we started discussing on the steps to take. So the first thing that we did was to secure a date for my medical. Like, we did this before we even created an IRCC account. My medical date was on the 12th of December. After we booked the medical date, we started to gather documents. Now, gathering documents took me 1 month. It wasn't as if the documents were not like handy, they were, but we wanted to take our time to, scrutinize everything, make sure that everything is in place, every document is like correct, and we just took our time because it's better for you to, take your time and just have everything done the right way rather than just rush and end up making mistakes. And for me, I had like a lot of time because my offer letter was valid for a year, like a full academic year. University of Regina, when you get accepted, your offer letter is valid for 3 semesters. For my own case, I got accepted for January 2023 intake. So I could use my offer letter for either January, May, or September of 2023. So I had like a lot of time. So that was why I took my time more to gather the necessary documents. This brings us to the list of documents that I used for my application. First thing is my international passport. If you're a subscriber on my channel, you would know that I always tell you guys that this is the first thing you need to have sorted out even before you like apply for your admission. This is the first thing, because you know how getting a passport in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, you know how getting it can be. Like, my own story was something else. So this is the first thing that you should try to make sure that you have already before you start applying. One thing on my list is my admission letter, my bank statement, that is my own personal bank statement, my sponsor's bank statement, my statement of purpose, my HND certificate slash statement of results, property documents, my sponsor's tax ID and clearance receipts, family photos, and my sponsor's company's CAC. So these were the documents that we used in applying. If you have more documents, like if you want to, you can also add your car documents too. Everything just like makes your application strong. You can use your properties as home ties, and your family members, you can also use them as home ties. I will be making another video where I would really explain more, because if I should decide to do that in this video is going to be very, very long, and I do not want that. So I'll be making another video separately where I would be sharing or shedding more light on how to go about the whole thing if you want to apply for your study permit by yourself. So but this video is just about my own entire process. After we gathered the entire document, we now went ahead to create our GC key. A GC key is like a username and password for you to have access to IRCC's portal. Like to create your own portal, you need a GC key. For instance, when you want to try to create an Instagram account, you need an email address and a username, and you need to set up a password. So it's kind of similar, but in this case, it's not called a username. It is called a GC key. So we went ahead and created a GC key, and then we started uploading documents. When it was time for my medicals, I went for my medicals. But as at the time, I didn't want to go for biometrics immediately because I was getting ready for my traditional marriage preparations. So we just kind of put the application on hold. So after I went for medicals, I told my agent that I didn't want to go for the biometrics in December anymore, that I wanted to push my biometrics to January of 2023, and they agreed, and we picked the 16th of January for my biometrics. So the 16th of January came, and then I went for biometrics, and 2 weeks later I received my passport request letter. So this brings us now to the second part of this video, which is the processing time. Now the processing time for a standard study permit made outside of Canada is 9 weeks. So when I applied, I was not expecting to get my approval like anything sooner. I was just like, okay, 9 weeks is the standard processing time. Okay, so I'm just looking at 9 weeks. Well, as God would have it, I had my study permit approval before 9 weeks. Now, I said I got my offer letter on the 3rd of November, right? And then I proceeded to start my application. But I submitted my application on the 21st of December. I don't know if this makes sense. I got my offer letter on the 3rd of November 2023, and I booked a medical appointment on the 12th of December 2023, and then I had not submitted my application. I submitted my application, or rather, my agent submitted my application on the 21st of December 2023, and I went for my biometrics on the 16th of January 2023, and then I received my offer, my passport request letter exactly 14 days after I gave my biometrics. I gave biometrics on the 16th of January, and I received my passport request letter on the 30th of January, which is 14 days, or 13 actually. My entire application, from the day I submitted my application to the day I received my passport request letter, boils down to 5 weeks. So my study permit application took 5 weeks from submission to approval. 5 weeks. I get this question a lot, and that's why I'm kind of like saying it over and over again now. So I got a my passport request letter 2 weeks after I gave my biometrics. I hope this makes sense and answers your question. For the third part of this video, passport submission and collection. Now, when I got my passport request letter, I was in Owerri at the time because I was already married. So I traveled to Lagos to have my passport submitted. Now, if you watched my previous video where I talked about passport submission and collection, I said in that video that there are two ways you can choose to have your passport submitted and received, and whichever way you're trying to pick, you should consider how you want to get your passport back. So you have the option of either going to the visa application center to submit your passport and then also go back there to collect it. You can do this, or you can choose to have it mailed via courier to them and have it also mailed back to you. Or you can also choose to do what I did. What I did in my own case was I went to submit my passport at the VAC, and then after submitting it, I filled the consent form, and I indicated on the form that my elder brother would receive the passport because I didn't want the passport coming back to Owerri because I'll be going to Canada from Lagos. So there was really no point. So I made it clear in the form that I would not be the one to receive my passport, but my elder brother would be receiving it. So this was how I got my passport back. I think I paid the sum of 18,000 something for the passport to be mailed to my brother's office. So these are basically three ways you can actually do this. So the first one that I said, you going there to submit it and then going back to pick it up, that is if you can do that. And you can equally go and submit and have this and pick the option of having it sent to wherever address you want it sent to. And you can also decide to mail it. Initially, when you want to mail your passport to them, all you need to do is just go to the logistics or courier company, UPS, FedEx, or DHL. You go there and do the formalities and pay the fee, and they deliver your passport to the VAC. The VAC sends it to where it needs to get to, and then they bring it back to you. But recently now, it's not like that anymore. If you use a courier company to have your passport sent, they would not. It's now a one-way thing. It used to be two-way, like going and coming back, but now it's just a one-way thing. The only thing you do now is to just send it to the VAC, and before you get it back, you need to pay the VAC 18,000 something again for them to have it sent back to you. What this means is that you can only use DHL, FedEx, and the likes to send your passport to the VAC. Now, when you do that, the courier company that you used in sending your passport would not be the one to have your passport brought back to you. You still have to pay the 18,000 naira to the VAC. Now they would now have, because they work with UPS, so they would now have UPS mail your passport wherever it is you want it mailed to in Nigeria. So this is the latest updates in passport submission and collection. So I hope this answers your question, because I have received this particular session. I've received a lot of questions about this, and I hope that this answers your question. But if you still have any other question that you want to ask me, you can leave it in the comments, and I will be in the comment section replying to your questions. So this brings us to the end of today's video. I know it is not as extensive as you want it to be, but that's because I still have a lot of information to give to you, and I cannot pour out everything in one video because it will be too long. And even I myself, no one wants to spend their entire time watching an hour or 45 minutes long video of just hearing somebody talking and talking and talking. Eventually you get tired and you miss out on like key information. So I'll just be dropping the info in separate videos, so it's easier for you to navigate and understand. If you want something about this, you just go here and watch, not piling everything up in one video. I hope you found this useful. But if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will be there to reply to your comment to the best of my understanding. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.